Then, CBS 6 told you months ago about questions surrounding the death of this Chesterfield father, and after our investigation, authorities decided to re-examine the case. Now, the steps being taken by police to find out what really happened. Coming up.
Our first activity is going to be memory beads.
Melody Clavier and her children are mastering the art of grief.
Healing through art. It's a grief group for those who have suffered a tragic loss.
While she brushes up on the tools necessary to lead others down the road to healing,
Everybody's going to get a journal.
this Chesterfield mom is hopeful that investigators are painting a clearer picture of what happened to her husband, Nick, on the afternoon of October 24th, 2015.
Initially it said that, there was possibility that somehow his gun could have fired this bullet. Obviously that is not the way it appears. And so they are running tests on the firearm.
A firearm that until now, Melody says, has been in evidence as part of a cleared case that got a second look and FBI involvement after this CBS 6 interview last May.
I heard a loud bang.
A fatal bang that Chesterfield police say came from Nick Clavier's gun after they ruled it accidentally discharged, shooting Nick in the head and causing him to crash his car into this field off Hull Street with his 4 children inside. But his daughter, Michaela, says the bullet was fired from someone inside another vehicle, which she would later sketch.
I saw the guy pointing a gun. I heard a loud noise. I looked over, I saw my dad. He was bleeding and blood was going everywhere.
A CBS 6 investigation revealed ballistics returned in December determined the bullet retrieved from Nick's brain did not match his gun. The case was changed from cleared to pending, and the kids, who may be the only eyewitnesses that day, were re-interviewed in July at the Child Advocacy Center in Henrico County.
I told them that I know it wasn't an accident. I've come a long way. I'm a lot more happier now. Now I know that somebody did hear what I was saying and they're trying to do something about it.
And as the 2-year anniversary of the day that changed this family of 6 to 5 nears,
And green was the color of his eyes.
Mom Melody is leading a monthly Healing Grief Through Art support group.
I'm hoping that it will help other families who have been through loss like we have to find ways to help cope and help remember those that they have lost in a positive light.
With metal detectors and shovels in hand, Chesterfield police are digging for clues in a field cleared by investigators. A patch of woods that 2 years earlier was the scene of a shooting investigation.
Really, this is the only way that we can say that we've actually done everything we could logically to find out where the truth is in all this.
It's that truth Melody Clavier has been searching for since the October 2015 day her husband Nick was found shot in the head after crashing down this embankment into this now marked tree off Hull Street Road with his 4 children inside the car.
In my heart, obviously what happened was the story I've been told over and over by my children, which was that somebody shot him.
I saw the guy pointing a gun. I heard a loud noise. I looked over, I saw my dad. He was bleeding and blood was going everywhere.
After this May interview with Clavier's daughter, Michaela, police changed the status of the case from cleared to pending. A CBS 6 investigation revealed ballistics determined the bullet recovered from Clavier's brain did not match his gun, a gun police initially ruled accidentally misfired inside the vehicle. But Michaela, who was in the passenger seat that day, says it came from a vehicle she would later sketch.
We just wanted to make sure that we were being good to our word and true to our word. We said that we would do a thorough review, and that's exactly what we wanted to do. And we wanted to come back to where things happened and take apart every aspect of this case.
As investigators comb through every inch of where this husband and father's life was about to come to an end and recreate the events of that day, his family hopes taking this look back will help them move forward.
I might finally have answers one day. It's incredibly important to me and really genuinely means a lot. Probably one of the best Christmas gifts I'll get.
Melody says in the end, she hopes that justice will be served so that her children don't have to worry that somebody is out there. Working for you in Chesterfield County tonight, Laura French, CBS 6 News.
That's your starting point. You're going to want to work from there out.
A starting point that retired Chesterfield Police Captain Steve Neal says could help lead to closure for this family.
They want to try to cover every inch of ground.
Ground that the Chesterfield Police Department cleared and revisited Friday after more than 2 years as they dug for clues in the renewed death investigation of Nick Clavier.
Really, this is the only way that we can say that we've actually done everything we could logically to find out where the truth is.
It's that truth the Clavier family has been seeking since the October 2015 day this husband and father was found shot in the head.
He was a really nice man. He didn't deserve to die.
Orange paint now marks the spot where Nick's vehicle crashed with his 4 children inside.
In my heart, obviously what happened was the story I've been told over and over by my children.
I saw the guy pointing a gun.
Which was that
I heard a loud noise.
somebody shot him.
I looked over, I saw my dad. He was bleeding and blood was going everywhere.
Police initially ruled the death as an accident, but changed the status of the case from cleared to pending after a CBS 6 investigation revealed ballistics determined the bullet recovered from Clavier's brain did not match his gun. But Michaela, who was in the passenger seat that day, says it came from a vehicle she would later sketch.
And the fact that there's a gun that is not on scene, I don't think there's any way in the world you can rule out homicide. But they're going to have to examine everything they have, and then they're going to have to draw a conclusion as to whether they think it was a homicide, a suicide, or an accidental death.
Another weapon is just one of the items Neal believes police were searching for as they spent 6 hours combing through every inch of these woods. It's a case that he says has the most unusual set of circumstances he's seen in his 40-year career.
Either this was a homicide and the shooter retained a weapon, or it means that there is another weapon that they did not find, or it could possibly mean that there's another weapon that somebody removed from the scene before police arrived.
Regardless, Neal says, you can't ignore the science and must take this look back to move forward.
The forensic evidence, that's the reason why we do it, to make sure that it corroborates what we thought we saw at the scene. And if you find a case where it doesn't match, like in this case, then that tells us we need to go in another direction. We need to look somewhere else.
It would be amazing if, we could have justice brought for this, if something was found to where, a guilty party could be brought to justice. That would be huge, My kids wouldn't have to worry about who's still out there.
Neal says while he recognizes that the more time that passes, the less likely investigators are to find new evidence, he does think that there is a good chance that this case will be solved due to the media attention that it has generated. From his experience, he's certain that the public does not know everything that law enforcement knows about the case. He commends the department for taking the second look that they have on this case, even if that means it turns out that mistakes were made. Working for you in the studio tonight, Laura French, CBS 6 News.
Straight ahead.
A Chesterfield father died after being shot in the head. First, police said there was no foul play, but his daughter told us she saw the killer. Now, after 2 years of our investigations, the case is finally being called a homicide. His family's reaction tonight.
It has been an emotional roller coaster.
Daddy did the water.
There's a renewed sense of peace and joy at this Chesterfield home Wednesday night.
I was told that they are reclassifying the case as homicide and that there was absolutely no way that Nick did this to himself.
Words Melody Clavier has been waiting to hear for 2.5 years. Since the October 2015 day police said her husband Nick accidentally shot himself driving with his 4 children inside their car that would crash into these Chesterfield woods.
We were going so fast because his foot was on the gas that blood from his head was going everywhere. I was covered in blood.
Terrifying moments Michaela Clavier has replayed since the day the then 9-year-old watched, as she says a man pulled up next to them on Hull Street Road and shot her father.
I heard a loud noise and I saw my dad slouched over the thing, and I saw this car speeding off, and I saw the guy in the car putting what looked like a gun away, from out of the window.
A story this now 12-year-old has maintained since the day she watched her dad die. But Clavier's death certificate tells a different story.
I thought this would be something I would have to fight forever.
Melody regained hope after police changed the status of the case from cleared to pending last May after a CBS 6 investigation revealed ballistics determined the bullet recovered from Clavier's brain did not match his gun. In the year to follow, police would clear the path for new clues that eventually would lead them to reclassify the manner of Nick's death from undetermined to homicide.
I think that it is really very big of them to be able to look at me and, say that they're genuinely sorry for the fact that it has taken this long to get this answer, to get this ruling.
I know my dad loved me, so he would never put me in danger. It was very hard to think that people would think that he would put us in danger like that. And I am very relieved now that people know that he didn't put us in danger, that it wasn't his fault.
A peach tree that my dad grew.
These children can now focus
He built it.
on the reminders of their loving dad that surround them,
He built the patio.
while police focus on who was responsible for taking him from them.
They robbed us of a lot. It has been an emotional roller coaster. Obviously, I would like for there to be a form of justice, and I would like to be able to, look somebody in the eyes and ask why.
October 24th, 2015, Nick Clavier suffers a fatal gunshot wound in his car. February 3rd, 2016, police rule his death accidental. May 23rd, 2017, police changed the status of the case from cleared to pending. September 26, 2017, Clavier's gun gets retested. May 9th, 2018, Chesterfield police announced the case will be changed from undetermined to homicide.
What finally prompted investigators to reclassify the case tonight at 11. It's a walk Melody Clavier has taken every month for the last 2.5 years. But this time, it's different.
We finally did it.
Emotions flood this widow as she speaks those long-awaited words of accomplishment over her late husband's headstone.
Nicholas Nick E. Clavier, 1983 to 2015. Beloved husband and dad.
The big news that Chesterfield police now confirm what the Clavier family knew all along, that the father of 4 did not kill himself. He was murdered.
Based on the new information we have from some of the new testing and witness statements, that's led us to this point to reclassify the case.
A case that opened in October 2015 as an accidental death investigation after Clavier was shot in the head while driving on Hull Street Road before crashing into these woods with his 4 children inside the vehicle.
Even from the most intimate moment when I had to sit them all down and tell Daddy wasn't coming home, the very first words out of my daughter's mouth was, "Did they catch the guy that did it?"
Nick and Melody's 9-year-old daughter, Michaela, was in the passenger seat of that car.
He was a really nice man. He didn't deserve to die.
She would relive that day last May after a CBS 6 investigation revealed that ballistics had determined that the bullet retrieved from Nick's brain did not match his own gun, a weapon that police had found inside the car. A year has passed, but the now 12-year-old story remains the same.
I saw the guy in the car
Pointing a gun.
and then
I heard a loud noise.
blood from his head
It was going everywhere.
I was covered in blood.
The case would be changed from cleared to pending after that initial report. A year and several developments later, Nick's undetermined death is now classified as a homicide.
We're exploring some theories which all have basically the common denominator that the actual bullet that struck him came from outside the vehicle.
Michaela was one of several witnesses who helped Chesterfield's Unsolved Major Investigations Group come to that determination.
With the assignment made to UMIG, it's going to be slow, thorough going, and even stuff we've looked at before will be looked at again so that we can try to do this right.
I'm way better now than I was 2 years ago. Now that I know, like, people actually are listening to me and people actually care.
As are Clavier's other 3 children.
Daddy did the card.
Who can now focus on these positive memories that surround them.
Dear Daddy.
Instead of the painful ones that have haunted them.
It's hard. I know he's watching, and I know he's proud of us, and I know he's happy that we've fought for him.
And they will continue to fight for this fun-loving dad and won't rest until justice is served for the father whose reputation they are grateful has been restored.
And I know my dad loved me. He would never put me in danger. Whoever did it, they should tell somebody that they did it instead of just sitting around knowing that they really hurt a family. They stole my dad, which was like pretty much half my life.
And we'll keep fighting till it's completely over. And we'll keep looking until someone's found or I'm gone.
Investigators say they are going to, quote, keep after this case until they find out what happened. They are confident they will solve this with the public's help. If you have any information, you are asked to call Crime Solvers. Meanwhile, Melody just received news that Nick's death certificate has been officially changed from shooting himself to homicide. Working for you in the studio, Laura French, CBS 6 News.